He never asked to lead. He never craved power. But when his nation was drowning in corruption and fear, one man, Ibrahim Traoré, stood up while everyone else stayed silent. This isn't just a story of a soldier. It's the rise of a legend who turned discipline into revolution. Watch until the end and witness how one honest man changed everything. The silent uprising. There are men who speak loud, and then there are men like Ibrahim Traoré, men who speak only when it matters, and when they do, the world listens. He wasn't born with power. He didn't inherit command. He earned it, step by step, through dust, sweat, and silence. In a nation riddled with corruption, where uniforms were no longer sacred, where leaders played games with the lives of soldiers, Traoré stood still, watching. He saw men who once bled for the country now bleed it dry. He saw villages burned by enemies and abandoned by generals. He saw people, his people, losing hope in everything, including their own army. But he never raised his voice. Not yet. He trained harder. He listened deeper. He memorized the shadows that moved behind the scenes. Because he knew every broken system is run by names, and every name has a weakness. He wasn't preparing for war. He was preparing for truth. The kind of truth that doesn't need bullets. Just one man willing to carry its weight. And in a world full of cowards in command, Ibrahim Traoré decided he would become something dangerous, an honest soldier. Shadows in uniform. Not all enemies wear different colors. Some stand beside you, eat with you, call you brother, while stabbing the country in the back. Ibrahim Traoré had seen enough. He had watched generals who once led from the front now hide behind politics. He'd seen bribes handed like medals, orders sold like weapons, and loyalty traded for silence. He knew something others refused to admit. The battlefield wasn't just outside the border, it was inside the barracks, in the boardrooms, in the very heart of command. But Traoré wasn't interested in rebellion. He was interested in redemption. He made lists, names, ranks, operations that never made sense until he connected the dots. Some of those names were friends, mentors, men who once protected him and now protected only themselves. That's when he understood. Loyalty to the wrong man is betrayal in disguise. So he made a choice, a dangerous one. He would not serve any longer under shadows. He would expose them, not with noise, but with evidence, with precision, with discipline. Because when honor is lost from the top, it must rise again from the roots. And that root was him, the day the guns didn't fire. It began at dawn. No headlines, no warning, just footsteps, heavy, determined, unshaken. Ibrahim Traoré walked into the compound, not as a soldier following orders, but as a man delivering justice. Two senior officers stood surrounded, decorated men, once feared, now exposed. Their faces were covered, not by law, but by shame. Behind them, a new kind of army had formed, young, loyal, fierce, and above all, tired of watching the nation bleed. No speeches were given, no violence erupted. The rifles stayed pointed, but no triggers were pulled. Because this was not a coup. This was a cleansing. Traoré didn't need chaos to lead. He needed order. Order built not on fear, but on integrity. One of the old officers looked up and asked, "You think you can do better?" Traoré didn't flinch. He just stepped forward and said quietly, "I can do what's right." And that morning, for the first time in years, the people watching from rooftops and radios felt it. The tide was turning, not with blood, but with backbone. The day the guns didn't fire was the day a real leader rose. Redefining power. Power. Most men chase it, few understand it, and fewer still deserve it. After the arrests, the nation waited. Would Traoré crown himself king? Would he follow the path of every other savior who came before, only to become the very tyrant he overthrew? But Ibrahim Traoré didn't sleep in palaces. He returned to the barracks, sat beside his men, shared the same bread, same burden, same battlefield. Because for him, power wasn't status, it was responsibility. He refused to promote cowards, refused to protect traitors, and he made one thing clear. If you wear this uniform, you serve the people, not your pockets, not your pride. He rewrote the code of honor. One decision at a time. Discipline became law, service became sacred, and for the first time in decades, the people didn't run from soldiers. They stood with them. They saw something new, not fear in their boots, but faith in their leadership. Ibrahim Traoré wasn't building an empire. He was building an example, one that echoed across the continent. Strength without justice is tyranny. Justice without strength is useless. And in that balance, he redefined what it means to lead without losing your soul.